Within the ancient order of the Harbingers, every member knows two prophecies, two eventualities, one of peace and one of doom. Only one of these foretellings may prove true, but not even the gods know which. And so the Harbingers fight, seeking always to stand against the darkness and be heralds of the times of peace. Yet always the shadow lurks. Doom is waiting, biding its time, assured of its own inevitability, prowling like a great cat ready to strike, hanging from above like a blade on a thread. Doom, they tell themselves. Doom is coming, and only they may stop it. But to fight an enemy, you must know them. And so they recite the prophecy of doom.
I shall not see a world that will be dear to me. Summer without flowers, cows without milk, folk without conscience, warriors not brave.
Conquests without a king.
Woods without fruit, fishless seas. Multitudes of storms!
Bad judgments by old men, false precedents of the lawgivers. Forts barren of structures, hollow.
A stronghold coming from mistakes, a devastated time. An excess of lords, but too many homeless.
Joy in evil, covered in sorrow. Everyone a betrayer, each child a robber. Oh, evil time. Son will deceive father, daughter will deceive mother.
And welcome, everyone. Welcome to Harbingers, a Horizons Call game. I am Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I am, as for any Horizons Call game, your guiding compass as you navigate the treacherous seas and perhaps the treacherous islands that dot them of the world of Damaris. I am joined by these lovely folks. Second week in a row. I find myself very lucky to be so. First of all, before we get into anything, I want to say a very happy birthday to Gena, our lovely Saskia.
Look, I have a crown for everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So Saskia can't die this game. That's your birthday.
No.
A sash and everything. Oh God. It's incredible. Happy birthday to Gena. We are very, very lucky that you chose to spend your birthday, at least part of it, with us here. I am going to go around and have these lovely people, including Gena, introduce themselves and say a little bit about their character. But before that, I do want to say that these lovely people, in lieu of any type of financial support to themselves, chose instead to support a wonderful cause, that being the Actors Entertainment Fund. It is a great cause that you can actually donate to and impact this game through the Tiltify link that you can find on all of our socials as well as in chat. If you hit certain monetary goals, such as $5, you can give an advantage, $10 for a crit, so on and so forth. You can even make things complicated, which is what we're kind of resolving at the beginning of this episode. And with a black spot, which I believe is $30. So donate to a great cause, impact this game along the way. Have a great time with all of us. And as always, anything that you are willing and able to give, both of those factors are important together, is very much appreciated. Let's go ahead and go around and have these lovely people say, again, a little bit about themselves and where you can find, or I'm sorry, a little bit about themselves and their characters. We'll do call outs at the end, shout outs at the end. So, Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out, a little bit about yourself and Anubia.
All right. Hey everybody, my name is Abhishek Batange. I'm a voice actor who likes to do the nerdy side of tokusatsu things. I'll be playing Anubia, our resident Anubite wave, the living weapon monk, who's ready to kick some null ass.
1000%, absolutely. It seems like there's more of a right to do it for Anubia than anyone else. Next up, we have Alex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex, and today I am playing Desiree, the Drow Echo Knight.
Fantastic. Next we have the one and only LD.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hello, everybody. I'm LD, Lady Dame. And today I am playing Thea of the Rowan, as per usual, our Order of the Profane Soul blood hunter / rogue. Because, min-maxing's fun, y'all. Yeah, that's me. And definitely also ready to do some damage and see what other kind of nonsense everybody else can get up to. Very excited.
I can't wait. Next up, Rak.
Hey everyone, I am Rakolai or Rakolai. I don't really have a preference on how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight I will be playing Croak, the friendly Kenku ranger rogue, who is all of the birds at once.
Just all the birds. You are a Hitchcock dream? Nightmare? I'm not sure which one he would want.
Yes.
Yes. And last but absolutely not least, the birthday person themselves, Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. It's my birthday, as we've said. I'm playing Saskia Kavirense, an order, not why did I say order, Oath of the Watchers Paladin, and I will be your healer today.
It's very kind of you. It's lovely to have a healer aboard this ship. You might all need it. So I believe we have a recap prepped by LD. So, Jordan, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Yours.
Perfect. All right. I don't do in-character recaps because I don't. But so this is a recap for our very first episode of the Harbingers on a southwest island of Domaris called Raven Rock. We find the home of the Harbingers, and we are introduced to that location and also our intrepid adventurers. There on Raven Rock in the morning, 5 Harbingers were notified that they were to report to the Oracan. We meet Fia, newly returned from her last adventure, Desiree, Anubia, Croak, and Saskia. After going about their morning, they meet with the Owlin, who then tells them what their next mission is, that the Bones told them what our next mission was going to be, and that it was inauspicious because there were 5 of us being sent, and that's too many, and that's not a good number, but here we are. That's what the Bones said. There was like a whole extra bone coughed up and everything. We were being sent to Lemuria, is what I have written down. A jungle island in the Sunbirth Sea where an entire legion of Narians disappeared. But there's suspicions that the Starfall Communion are looking for something on that island. They were given the night to get their affairs in order. Fia spoke with her mother. Anubia connected with Smackdown, the kobold blacksmith, who needed a notable thing. Many of us got ready before setting off on the Halcyon, which is the ship that we are on with Captain Zara, First Mate Tall Joe, and a number of other colorful characters on the ship. As we settled in, Saskia connected with the healer on the ship, a skeleton called Dr. Sawbones, also a phenomenal character. Fia made friends with the captain. We went about our way for a long voyage, settling in for a long voyage. And then the ship was attacked by 3 ships. Gnolls apparently belonging to a death cult of some sort, and whose god I don't remember because I didn't write that part down. But that's where we left off.
Fantastic. LD, enjoy that point of inspiration.
Yes. Great. Thank you.
Put it to good use. Before we jump back into things, I also do want to credit 2 additional people. I want to thank Kayla for being our producer for this session, probably for all of our sessions. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to do this. You can't see her. We can't actually see her. But she is a fantastic, wonderful, appreciated member of this team. Also, a special thank you to Michael Sandoval for doing the artwork for this game, actually for a number of our games. Michael absolutely killed it on this one. I'm always in awe of how much I have seen his skill, his talent increase over time, and it's always just a new masterpiece every single time. So special thank you to Michael. You can follow him. Instagram's probably one of the best places to see all of his artwork at MIKYLSANDVAL. Please go check out his stuff. Okay. Also, I do want to note that we are connected to Greenleaf Geek Dice. If you buy anything from their website, you can get 10% off using code Sword and Key with underscores between 3 words. You can also use our affiliate ship through Eldritch Foundry if you buy minis and get 10% off of your first order there with code Sword and Key, all one word. Okay. That's all the fun business stuff. Let's get into combat. If you all wouldn't mind, please roll for initiative.
And everybody has a +3. Actually, wait, let me check the distance on my goddamn aura. I said 30. I might have been lying by accident. 10.
10 feet. Great. Perfect. That's what I wrote down last week, and I was like, oh, that's different.
Yeah, I said 10 last week, and I forgot. Okay. So that is 2 Anubia.
I'll take
just
it,
Anubia.
honestly. I'll take it.
+3. It's been a minute since I played a paladin.
Okay. Who got a 20 or above?
21.
25 total.
Ooh!
Dang.
We got a natural 20.
Oh, Tez, okay.
You two don't need me.
I think we're fine.
Okay. Who got a 19 to a 17?
I got a 17.
Okay. Who got a 16 to a 14? Okay. What was that, 13 to 10?
I got a 12.
I got an 11.
Okay. So, and then Anubia, and I believe that is all 5 of you. Yes. Okay. Great. So, Desiree, looking out, you find, so let me describe what has happened between last session and this session as we jump into media res of your combat. As the 3 Knoll ships tried to corral yours, the Halcyon, into an ambush, there's no other word for it, you were able to, Croak was able to send a flock of his birds to distract the captain of one of the smaller Knoll fishing vessels that had been retrofitted into a raiding vessel, and almost divert into one of the others. Essentially hobbled one of the ships, leaving the other to sail on towards you. There was a much larger ship which went to then almost ram into you. Your ship was able to divert at the last moment, only taking a little bit of damage to its hull, as you see that there are these, now as you get closer, reinforced hulls on the Knoll's ships, almost with these spikes coming out of them. It's like when you put spikes on the rim of your car. It's nasty. So these vessels not really meant for pirating or warfare being retrofitted into them. Again, not a lot of like weapons, like ship to ship weapons. They're kind of just meant to ram into something and then let the overwhelming horde of gnolls do the rest. So your ship, the Halcyon, now finds itself sandwiched between 2 Gnoll ships that have their literal hooks in the ship. Harpoons have been thrown over. Gnolls have thrown planks down. They are boarding left and right, starboard and port. So now you find yourself with some Gnolls on board, with many, many more trying to board. So that is the situation. Desiree, you are first. What would you like to do?
All right, let's fucking go. So narratively, I'm going to hop off the, what's the word for it? The ballista or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As it becomes clear that boarding is inevitable. So I'm going to get up and head towards the upper ship.
Okay.
First off, bonus action, I'm going to put my echo right sort of behind. So there's a knoll. I want to put an echo directly behind the knoll that I am facing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not pinging for some reason in Roll20. Forgive
Let's
me.
see. I might be able to actually give you a duplicate that I can control at least.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so I would like to put an echo right there. And what that looks like, okay, perfect, is as the knolls come up, I switch from like a sort of like salon fencing kind of posture with one arm tucked behind the back and a sort of very like minimal profile to something more like spread out as it becomes clear I cannot fight these things one-on-one. And so I just point my rapier at the ground a few feet ahead of me, and then the shadows just sort of all like melt together and rise up to form a semi-transparent duplicate of myself in grayscale. I have plenty of knolls available to me, so I'm just going to start swinging.
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
So first attack at the knoll directly ahead of me. This is going to be +10 with my rapier. It's going to be 21 total.
Yeah, absolutely. 21 definitely hits.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll damage first because like whether one goes down will affect my targeting of them in the future. So this first one will take a total of 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Does not go down with the 8 points, but definitely a significant portion of damage to this knoll.
All right, we are going to repeat the first attack with the second. That is going to be a 19. Does that hit?
Definitely. Yeah. These knolls are not well armored at all. Those that are armored are wearing just like piecemeal leather.
And this one does 12 damage.
Okay, so 20 points in total?
Yes.
Fantastic. You finish this knoll.
All right.
One down.
Then afterwards, I can do this. It's not an action or a bonus action because I've already spent both of those. You know what? Fuck it. We ball. Actually, we're going to action surge and make 2 additional attacks.
Okay.
We're going to go for this guy right over here. I don't know if you can see the ping.
Yes, I got you.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to go for that one. All right. That's going to be a 25 to hit and
for sure.
11 damage.
Okay.
And then a 26 to hit with 14 damage.
2 knolls down.
Yeah.
Is there any flourish you would like to add to these kills?
So for the first one, I think it is just like personal skill. Just a knoll comes out swinging wildly, and I am able to, sort of avoid a couple of wild swings and just put a couple of real precise rapier pokes just into vital areas, and it just drops. The second one, I like to imagine, kind of has a better read on me, and I'm able to get one in quick, and as it steps back, it steps right into the blade of my echo, which is directly behind it.
That's incredible. Okay.
And so then myself and my echo will turn to face the 2 remaining knolls in melee range.
Yes, who have just watched you very quickly kill 2 of their compatriots. There's not a lot of empathy on their faces, but maybe a little bit of fear.
That's about what I expect.
Yeah.
And that's my go.
Perfect. Wonderful. Okay. Next up in the order, we have Fia. It is your turn.
Okay, dokie. Well, it looks like Desiree has things well in hand over here. And as a reminder, I am 20 feet up in the air currently, so I'm not actually in melee of anybody. I am... Oh, and I have my crimson right up. I do remember that from before. So I am going to fly over. Is that our friend here in purple, our knoll chief?
Yes, the ones that have the purple outline, those are your knoll captains.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna just fly on over to that knoll and I'm heading straight for the war chief. For my bonus action, I would love, so the first thing that she's going to do is Oh, you know what? Let's just amplify for funsy. Let's amplify this too. Fias's eyes sort of blaze this red, and the whip, which is already on fire, she takes the back end of it, on which there's like a very sharp point, and sort of draws it across the back of her hand, and then as she takes her whip back, she kind of points that end directly at the war chief and marks the chief, so that we have advantage on that hit.
Okay.
And they are marked, which means I get an additional Hemocraft dice, which is exciting. Yeah, so we're gonna try and hit him and go for the first whip attack. That's not my favorite. How does a 15 sound?
A 15 sounds like just enough, actually.
Great. Phenomenal. Okay. Now, because I have advantage from the amplification, is that would be considered like sneak attack damage, right?
Yeah, you have advantage on the attack. That is part of sneak attack.
Perfect. Cool. And for shits and giggles, because it doesn't, since I hit, we're gonna.
That is the name of the Knoll captain. Yes, shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles. I'm going to, as she goes to hit and bring the whip around, the tattoo on Fiat's chest, which for those of you who don't know is this. It covers most of her chest and most of her arms as well. It's a blood red tattoo that is in the shape of a tree. There's like little crows that are in the within the tree, but it almost looks like veins in a way, but it's actually a giant tree that goes up, through her sternum and up around her chest. And we're going to activate that as well for funsies and just hit all the things. Is that enough dice? Let's see. Additional Hemocraft sneak attack. 2 Hemocraft dice whip, and nope, I need one more d4. Roll that one later. Okay. So that is 8 from the whip plus 6 fire damage plus 6 from the sneak attack.
Okay, so 20 so far.
Yeah. And then why not? I'm 6, 8 plus 5 plus another 13 from the Blood Fury, which is, I believe, necrotic damage, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, none of the gnolls have any damage resistances or weaknesses, so at least for this one, damage type doesn't matter.
So yeah, that is that attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I do. Look at that. I get to do some of that again. I still believe. So I get to, because I get an extra attack, y'all. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. Okay, so I don't get advantage on this one. We're just going to go in for the other whip attack and no sneak attack and no blood fury. Okay. That next one won't be nearly as impressive, y'all. Oh, no. That's only 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's my turn.
Okay. Fantastic. So next up in the order, as you have left this captain pretty darn hurt, we have the regular gnolls. So with 2 of them down, the 2 that are closest to Desiree are going to take their attacks. So
oh, I should say I'm 10 feet above the captain, just in the air, because I never land. But
gotcha.
And the whip has a 10 feet attack.
And Desiree, your AC is 17. Good to know. Okay. So they're going to take, basically one of them's going to take all of its attacks at you. The other one's going to take all of its attacks at the Echo.
Which also has an AC of 17.
Perfect. Okay. The first bite is going to hit. The second short sword attack is also going to hit, and the third short sword attack will not hit. So you only get 2 attacks to you, to your Echo. No hits. So you are going to take, you Desiree are going to take 6. Going to take 9 points of piercing damage from their respective attacks.
I would like to silently thank Saskia for the aid.
Speaking of Saskia, one of the gnolls is going to run over to attack you. The other one is going to run and attack Anubia. And then I'm going to have a handful of the gnolls, now with Fia essentially like wings out blocking their access to the ship. They are going to take some ranged attacks at Fia. Otherwise, I'm going to have a bunch of them flood up from the back and fight some of the pirates. Yes, please.
The one that run ups to me, could I use my reaction? I have Polar Master, so when they can provoke an opportunity attack when they enter my reach, which is 10 feet.
For sure.
Because I am saying I have my glaive now because Fiak was doing the what's it called, the sparring, so I have that now.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna swipe at them when they come at me at 10 feet. Let's do this one. Oh, I miss. That is a nat 1.
Okay. All right. Good that we know that though. So with the next one. Gnolls are kind of swarming a lot towards your port aft, just as something you all might note. But Saskia, you do not get hit. Anubia, you do. Anubia, you are just going to take 7 points of piercing damage to you. And let's see. Other than the general swarming that they are doing, they're going to fight some pirates. I'm not going to make you guys worry about HP with that. It's more of a thing I'll do in the background while you all are doing your turns. And we are going to move on then to... Oh, I'm sorry. I still need to throw some spears at Fia. How dare I forget? Fia, your AC is
16.
16. Okay.
I should also mention that because I amplified the blood mark, I did take 5 points of damage from doing that. Just for, honest, to keep myself honest.
Well, for all the failures, that was actually 2 crits and a 3rd success. Sophia, you are going to take, as spears get lobbed at you. There we go. 20 points of piercing damage, 24 points of piercing damage as spears are lobbed from the gnolls to hit you as you fly. The captain does not have a ranged attack to get at you, but does command his gnolls to start bunching up and kind of taking you down, as you are the target du jour for you're the one thing preventing them from boarding this ship. And then we're gonna all bunch up right there, and then the rest of the gnolls are gonna move forward. We are moving on then to Saskia. It is your turn. You have this gnoll which has just entered combat with you. What would you like to do? Gena?
I thought I was unmuted, sorry. How bad does Fia look?
Oh, I'm like, I would say, bloody. She's looking about, I would approximately half.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bonus action healing word, which is a thing I have because I have Magic Initiate Bard. So where the hell did it go? I rolled so bad on that. You now have another 4 points.
Thank you.
It's 4 points you didn't have before. I rolled so bad on that. There is not a lot else I can do now, so I will simply take a glaive attack at this knoll that's in proximity to me. It's kind of awkward because it's so close and 5 feet, and I have a pole arm. But that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's better. 17 plus 6, whatever that is. That's 23.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll hit. Yeah, they all have AC of 14.
Okay, that's good to know. And my glaive is a D10, which, where did I put them? Let's just have. That is 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And if he still looks up, if they still look up, I will take a second one.
Yes, still up from that.
I'm gonna save all my smites for this. And that is higher. That's 18 plus stuff.
Okay.
Okay, that one's not bad. That is another 12 points.
That is just enough. They have 20 hit points, so you have taken out this knoll. Is there any flourish you would like to add to your ending of this knoll?
Not that I can think of right now. It's just kind of really awkward. And she's taken out of like, what's the word? She's like on her off foot right now because it's like came up from behind and they're too close. She doesn't like this. She likes people being 10 feet away from her. Too close, man.
Okay. So then Croak, it is your turn.
Okay. Can I move over here? Actually, let me get to the cursor real quick. Can I move over here, or is the mask going to be in the way?
No, so that's the anchor wheel. So you can move around that. That's the thing that you kind of spin around to raise the anchor up.
So
but yes, you can absolutely move around that.
I'm going to move here to get a flank around the knoll here with this poor crewmate. I will use my bonus action. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on this knoll.
Okay.
So one of my spectral ravens is going to kind of alight onto that knoll's back and kind of cling on and mark him.
Sure.
I'm going to take my short sword. I'm going to take a swing at him.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All right. So that is going to be 7 points of piercing damage from the sword, and then I have sneak attack. 6 points of sneak attack from Hunter's Mark.
So 13 in total. You said 7 and 6.
7 and 6, and then for Hunter's Mark, that's 5.
Okay, 18.
And you know what the heck? I'll take another swing at him since I'm a level 5 ranger.
Yeah, it's 2 hit points left.
Okay. That's a 19 to hit.
Definitely.
My dex bonus is 4, so I'm guessing this is just gonna finish it regardless.
It definitely will. So, how would you like to finish off this knoll?
I think my first swing is gonna kind of cut him behind the behind the legs, kind of drop him down, and then I'm gonna thrust forward to just slide the blade between the ribs and through the heart.
Beautiful.
So
and this knoll.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this crewmate a little bit of breathing room, maybe some room to get away. And actually, I'm gonna activate my Swarm Ranger feature. So my Gathering Swarm is going to gather on me and actually push me back 5 feet this way to get me out of range. And then I'm going to. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 over here to reposition myself.
Okay. Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
No, I think that'll be it.
Cool. It is now the Knoll Captain's turns. This Knoll Captain towards the south of the map is going to shove his way forward and push through his gnolls to get on board. He is looking to attack the captain, who is standing at the helm, who has Tall Joe next to her. The other captain is going to try and take a leap, risking an opportunity attack from Fia, having already taken a significant amount of damage. So Fia is going to leap onto the deck. If you would like to take an opportunity attack, you absolutely may. You're muted, LD.
I said I'm going to fire these dice because I rolled a 2.
Okay. All right. So dodging past your whip, perhaps not expecting the leap, he does make it on board the ship and is going to take a quick look around and see at least the gnoll closest that is dead next to Saskia. So Saskia, if you would like an opportunity attack on the gnoll captain as he comes within 10 feet of you. We haven't come back around to you yet. You're right. Okay. So the Knoll Captain then is going to take his attack on you. So you are going to get 3 attacks, 1 bite, 2 claws, as this captain is not even wielding a weapon. It's more that he has added metal shards to his claws, almost like rudimentary like pugilist gloves, like from the ancient Romans might have used. That is a 19 on the bite. That is only an 11 on one of the claws and a 15 on the other claws. So your AC is 16. So only one hits. Okay. I will need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh, that sounds bad. Let me check. What do I got? Okay. What is 11 plus 5? 16?
16. Congratulations. You succeed on the Constitution save there. You do not take poison damage. You do, however, take 8 points of piercing damage from the teeth. You kind of feel that there's like this rotten, necrotic quality to this creature's bite. The way that it is able to lord itself over the others, it carries almost like an innate pestilence to it that it tried passing on to you through this bite, but was unsuccessful. That is it for the Knoll Captain's turns. So let's go on to next in turn order, which is Anubia.
Perfect. So seeing the Knoll Captain kind of present himself, this is a very prime opportunity for Anubia to just let out these feelings that she's been having. Like, so she's basically gonna growl to the captain and Knoll, just like, "How dare you show your face here, you damn Knoll cultist! Allow me to send you to the afterlife in the name of Anubis," basically. Something along that threat. With that, she'll take her first sword swing at the Knoll Captain.
Go for it. Especially after you growl that at him, he looks at you and he goes, "I will take you with me, heretic." So it is an AC of 14 to hit the Knoll Captain.
Just double checking what I need to add. That's an 18 to hit.
18 hits, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. And let me just double check what the. So that's gonna be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay. For this one, which was the one that was already damaged, You land those 9 points, and it's looking pretty rough at this point. It's bleeding from several wounds, several of the whip wounds from Fia, and now from this strike. It is looking pretty rough.
All right. All right. So since he's still up, because of my martial arts feature, because I hit him was able to make an attack with a monk weapon, we being my short sword, my Kopesh. I'll go in for a bonus action unarmed strike on the captain this time. And because of my way of the weapon, I get to have some fun with this one. 27.
Definitely hits. Absolutely.
And now, because of the way of the weapon, I get to roll a d8 instead of a d6. So let's roll that. That is... So that's 12 damage from the fist itself, but because of my way of the weapon, I'm going to use my Manifest Blow feature to add an additional... I had it a second ago. Where'd it go? Yeah. I'm going to use my Manifest Blow feature to add an additional d6 of psychic damage.
Go for it.
That's another 6 points of damage.
Okay. Looking incredibly rough, but still standing. Is there anything else for your turn?
That... Actually, I still have one more attack action because of that. Because of my...
Okay.
Yeah. I'm an extra
Go for
attack, so... Is he still standing, I'm assuming, or no?
Still standing.
Still standing?
Yeah, on a scale of... where do we start out here? On a scale of 1 to 65, we're looking at about a solid 5 right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. All right, let's just seal the deal then, real quick. So, I'll make one more attack. I'll make one more attack with my Kopesh to kind of finish the deal here. That I believe should be it. Let's see. Oh yeah, dirty 20.
Fantastic. That'll do it.
And 11 points of damage.
And that is more than enough of what you needed. Which, because of where you are right now, I have a mechanic I like to use in my games called follow through. Should you ever use more, a lot of you have been getting exactly 20 hit points, so we haven't been able to use this just yet. But because you are finishing this creature off with excess hit points, you may then transfer those excess 6 hit points into the gnoll next to the one that you just hit, because they are side by side and you're using a melee attack. So as you go to slash through and hit the next one, how would you like to finish off this gnoll captain?
Honestly, so the way Anubi's been attacking him, it's been more like almost like a rush down, like barrage style of attacks. First the sword swing, then the fist into the immediate psychic damage backlash, and then just to finish it off with almost like a horizontal sweep to basically catch the captain, and then use that momentum to sort of ricochet into the gnoll next to him to get that 6 points transfer.
Perfect. Okay. Anubia, do one more thing for me. Give me an intimidation roll.
Ooh,
as
okay.
you are finishing off a captain in front of his crew.
Gotcha. Information's not the best, but we shall see. That's a 3.
A 3? Okay. All right. The gnoll captain, in his last breath, looks to you and just goes, "The greatest shame to be killed by someone so weak," and then just dispatched, sent to the afterlife, and then some. Anything else for your turn, Anubia?
No, not really.
Okay.
At this point.
Then we, I believe, are back to top of the order with Desiree.
All right, let's fucking go. Okay, so gnoll captain down. So I'm going to sidestep. Oops, wrong icon. I'm going to sidestep just over here and begin working on the next couple of gnolls. So I get, with my main action, this is going to be a little wonky. With my main action, I get 2 attacks. With 2 weapon fighting, I get an additional attack coming from my hand crossbow. And then with Echo Knight, I get an additional attack called Unleash Incarnation, which I can use a certain number of times per long rest, but doesn't cost a thing. So I'm going to do 4 attack.
Go for it.
All right. So first Knoll, that's going to be a 29 to hit.
Yep, definitely.
I'm going to re-roll that one with my Piercer feat, because I can re-roll damage on piercing weapon attacks. That is much better. That is 14 damage on this first Knoll. We're going to repeat. That is 23. That is 12 points of piercing damage on this one right here.
It sounds like just enough to take that one out.
Yep.
Okay.
So I will take that one out. Those are my 2 primary attacks. I will then follow that up by taking a step back, raising out my left hand and firing off my hand crossbow at this Knoll that's next to my Echo, so that'll only be a +8. Does 14 hit?
14 is exactly their AC.
14 is exactly their AC. Cool.
So that does hit.
All right, and that is like 10 damage, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, that's 10 damage. And then I'm going to use my Manifest Echo, which will be a melee attack coming from my Echo's position. That is going to hit. That's a 27 total. Back to the D8. That is 9 points of damage from the Echo's melee attack.
Okay. So 9. Sorry, help me out. How many total did we get?
19 points of damage total.
19 points.
I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's any follow through, I would take it down, but I don't know if that would work.
Here's what I'm gonna say. 19 is close enough.
It doesn't have to. I don't know how you do follow through, so I'm just.
I think 19 is close enough for what's kind of boiling around you. I think if anything, it took 1 psychic damage from watching you double you knock out 3 of its companions right before it got killed. Okay, cool. So with all of the gnolls surrounding Desade surrounding taken out, a number of the sailors begin to move forward towards the mid deck as well. Fia, it is now your turn. Fia, one thing I want to note for you is, since the gnolls just watched their captain board the ship and die, a lot of the gnolls that are now in front of you have a definite sense of hesitation to them. Again, you have your wings out, you have your whip. They have thrown some spears at you. You still didn't go down. A lot of them don't have ranged weapons anymore because they threw them at you, and they just watched their captain. So there's a few of them backing up. Depending on what you do with this turn, you could deter them and have them sail off.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to open up she's kind of got them like half open, hovering, and she's going to open them up her wings as wide as she can, and go up just like flavor wise just a little bit, so that she's kind of blocking out whatever light is like in front of those immediately.
For sure.
If I were you all, I'd run now.
And then she's going to turn and fly. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I can do that. She's gonna turn away from them, wings still in front of them, and that the captain who's still on, who from the other ship who's boarded ours.
Yes.
She's gonna fling an Eldritch Blast at that captain.
Okay. Yeah.
A nice little fuck you moment. Which? Oh, that's much better. That's a 19 on the die, so I'm a +7.
Yeah.
26. I assume that hits, and then
that definitely does.
Great. Which is just 4 force damage, but it's more of a, showy, like red streak through the air.
No, for sure.
yeah.
You are sailing east. The sun is behind you as you have gotten past midday with the west. You are framed like a biblically accurate angel slash
Mhm.
Mothman. Please roll intimidation with advantage.
Great. Oh, let's see. What is my? This will be fine. Aha! Well, that's. I mean, I only have a +1, but I did roll a natural 20 on that, so 21 total.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Via you cast your Eldritch Blast, which strikes the Knoll captain kind of in the shoulder, and you, even from where you are, you like feel a growl kind of like rumble just vibrating through the air particles towards you. The gnolls in front of you begin to scramble over each other, almost trampling each other, trying to get back to the helm to detach their ship from yours. They cut all the lines that are attached by harpoons, and grappling hooks and everything else they had used. And with a crunch of wood, you watch as they are able to pull their ship back, literally trying to paddle with whatever they can to get away from you. This fishing vessel is sailing back towards shore at this point, as the pirating venture clearly has failed for their ship.
They're smarter than they look. And I actually, do you mind? I've got a little bit of a bonus action situation to do
Please.
as well. Right. So I'm going to fly over to that knoll who's up by Anubia. And, oh God. How do I get rid of the measuring grid? There we go. No. How do I move it? Anyway, I'm going to fly up to that knoll who's over by Nubia, and I get a whip attack as a bonus.
Okay. I think you can't use the ruler at the same time. You have to...
I can't make the ruler go away. Oh, there we go.
Click the... Yeah, there we go.
Yes. Yeah, and then we'll do the whip attack as a...
Go for it.
As a bonus action. For 7 points of damage.
Okay.
3 of that being fire damage.
All right. This knoll looking incredibly rough. It is now the knoll's turns, and you will notice as like the knolls begin to like shift around each other. They are kind of this horde, this mass of furs and leathers and teeth, claws, and blades. But as the knoll captain begins to kind of snarl and snap and literally bark orders at them, Anubia, you would pick up that he is telling them to cease the attack. Just stop. Put them down. Stop eating. Stop. This is true glory. This is true prey. They will have to meet the Ashmaker. And you all would watch as the gnolls begin to almost like line up in a formation, where you have the sailors of your ship who are beginning to take the stern side, and the gnolls of this other ship are grappling along the rafters, not the rafters, but the railing. They are kind of like swarming around the captain, but not really doing anything to be aggressive towards her or Toljo. You have lost a couple of sailors in all of this. The ones that were surrounded did not make it, so there's a level of blood on the deck as well, a level of viscera that comes from the swarming of gnolls. But it's at this point that you start to see movement from the ship that remains, and out of the large hold area, a giant, large category sized gnoll with this horrendous looking flail pulls its way out, almost unable to fit through the hold that where you would actually store cargo, pulls his way out. You notice that his fur is dusted in something that perhaps Anubia might actually know is bone dust, as he seems to have like a pale sort of complexion to his fur. And he almost tears his way onto the deck to stand at the front of all of the gnolls, now facing off against all of you. And it's like the gnoll captain actually points to you, Anubia, and goes, "You heretic, translate for the rest of your meat."
Our best against your best. Unless you be cowards.
Anubia would do so, translate for the rest of them. He's offering his best versus our best.
I'm assuming by their best he's talking about himself, the big, bad, evil gnoll.
Most likely.
I would assume so. They called him the Ashmaker.
Nice name. I will say that best among the best. It's not normally I'd volunteer for myself, but I can tell you right now, I'm feeling a little hurt, so it's not me, whatever it is. If we're taking them up on their offer,
I would be willing to give it a shot. If we decide to go with this harebrained scheme.
The Gnoll captain is kind of pacing back and forth and again looks to Anubia.
Do you need more than one? It is fair to be afraid in the presence of the Ashmaker. It is wise to be so. Use however many you need. It will never be
They
enough.
feel like they're.
He is offering to let us have more than one.
What a fool.
He did call us cowards, but, you know.
Me, honor? I don't know what that is.
Honor,
I'm
never
not
heard
allowed
of.
to talk.
look, I'm happy to sit this one out, frankly.
I'm happy to
initiative, by the
fight.
way?
Not that I'm a coward, I just am.
That's fair. Saskia, what were you saying?
No, it was above table. Don't worry about it. I just said it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm in favor of Desday.
If he wants to let us have more, then whoever wants to join in, you're welcome.
Oh, I'm more than welcome to join in.
Desiree
to
and
have you.
Nubia. Saskia, do you want in on that too?
Croak, how about you?
Croak is holding his sword up and like kind of
No,
hopping
Croak
up and
won't.
down.
Croak, absolutely not.
He
very
opens up his
well.
beak. He opens his beak up and blows a raspberry at you, or makes the sound of one.
Mother would kill me if you went up against this thing.
Mother doesn't have to know. Let him
I think
Yeah, it's
from above. I think from above, like some of the spectral ravens, you hear like the sounds of chickens clucking.
Fia, he won't be alone. Me and Desiree will be with him.
I guess if you really want to, Croak, but I'm happy to sit this one out.
All right then, it's settled then. Myself, Desiree, and Croak versus that beast.
I'll just fly up a little bit. Okay, but if anything goes wrong, nah, never mind.
How surreptitiously do I think I could get off a spell while this is all happening? Just like as a general read before anything happens.
I think there's enough chaos going on. It would be a low DC of a stealth roll to get off that spell.
Oh god. Could I?
Because there's
while
an
there's-
entire horde of gnolls just chanting in gnoll, just Ashmaker, Ashmaker. I mean, it's
This is
they're looking
like-
for a cage fight.
This is like imminent, like within seconds, right?
Okay,
Actually,
yeah.
could I, before anything starts, could I try and cast Bless on these three?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me make a stealth roll. My disadvantage doesn't count because I'm not. My disadvantage is from the chainmail, so would that count toward this?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Oh geez, that was real bad. 9 plus 3, 12.
Yeah, 12 is enough.
12 is enough. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it was a
that would
DC 9.
be-
They're
Oh.
not paying attention to what all of you are doing because there's a lot of confidence in
Okay, it's
this here
only-
monster.
That's only a first level, because it's 3 of you, so I am now concentrating on that. That is a D4 to all of your attack rolls and saving throws.
I'll take that.
Yep.
Fucking me too.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that while I do. I'm just gonna hang out. I
Okay.
don't want to lose less than that, so I'm cheating.
I mean, yeah, might as well.
Look, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Exactly. Just I mean, to be fair, they brought out that thing, so that's a bit of a cheat in itself. So might as well stack the, might as well even the odds in our favor.
I'll pretend I'm just walking out.
With that, Anubia will turn to the Knoll captain and will speak in Knoll, pointing to herself, Desiree, and Croak. The 3 of us versus your... And she'll say this with the most utter, like, sarcasm and contempt and disgust that she will possibly, like, say. Champion.
Very well. Best of luck. I look forward to feasting on you and your friends.
And the large knoll is non-communicative, is just literally looking at its flail, kind of like checking on each of the chains, slathering. There's blood in its mouth, whether it's its own or something else, mixed with its slobber. It's just slathering down onto the breastplate it wears. Just a hill giant sized knoll, like the very boards of the ship creak beneath its large clawed feet, and it has these wild crazed eyes which are kind of darting between the 3 of you. We are going to keep turn order, so with that, Saskia, it is your turn.
You're muted.
Sorry, muted. How far is Thea from me, since I'm not involved in this Ashmaker thing? I will just move back.
Yeah, I think I'm just up there.
Okay.
Just hanging out.
So yes, if there's any support spells you'd like to cast, anything like that, you absolutely may. Otherwise, we can say that you could also give the help action to distract and give advantage on attacks.
I'm trying to look like I'm doing a good sport, so I'm just gonna try to. Are you within my touch range? Sorry, I already forgot where we were.
Me? I can be.
I will just slap a cure wounds on you.
Thanks.
Okay.
It will not be a lot because it's only first level. But,
That's okay.
What is cure wounds? I actually don't have it prepped.
That's okay.
So I am casting this from my ring of spell storing. This is exactly why I did
Oh
this.
yeah.
So
Croak, you are up next. Just heads up.
Where's my 1d8? Oh my god, I'm rolling so bad. 2 plus 3 is 5.
Great.
Wonderful.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, and I'm making a good show that I'm not interfering in this, so that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Croak, it is your turn.
Okay. Bonus action. I'm going to move my hunter's mark from the deceased knoll to the big knoll.
You got it.
And then I'm going to switch out my short sword for my short bow.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna move here. Oh, there's a guy there. Okay. Then I'm going to take a couple of shots. So first shot is 19. And then second shot is an 18.
Both absolutely will hit.
Cool. So first shot, that's going to be 7 plus 10 plus 4. So that's going to be 21 points of damage on the first hit.
Very nice.
And then for the second shot,
and Anubia, you're going to be up next.
That is 8 points of damage.
Mhm.
Actually, can you make a strength saving throw for the big knoll?
Oh,
DC 12.
sure. Oh, sure. Love to. 15 plus 5, dirty 20.
Cool. So these ravens are gonna like kind of swarm around it, but doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay. All right. Is that it for your turn, Croak?
Gonna take one more step back over here.
Okay. Anubia, it is your turn. You're muted.
There we go. Yep. Perfect. So, with this beast in front of her, Anubia's gonna go just full swing ahead. We'll start off with a short sword attack. So, good swing of her Kopesh. 826.
Yes, definitely, absolutely.
That'll be 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then we'll go for our second attack in that attack action. 16.
16 just hits. That is his AC.
Oh, nice. Okay, barely. And another 8 damage.
Okay.
And then we'll lead into our martial arts attack. So we'll go for my unarmed strike. 25.
25 hits, absolutely.
Alright, so let's roll damage. Best roll, 7 damage.
Okay.
And because I hit that, I'll use my Manifest Blow to activate my D6 of psychic damage against it. For another 4 damage on that.
Another 4.
And
okay.
Finally, I'm gonna proc something just a little special, just because we're up against, their champion. We gotta go all out for this, shall we say. So, I'm gonna proc... Where's that? I had it here a second ago. There we go. I'm going to spend a key point to proc Anubia's class feature, her Way of the Living Weapon, Nightmare Shroud.
Okay.
So, by spending a key point, I'm gonna force this thing to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Let's see. Wisdom save. So has a +5 to wisdom saving throws. Rolled a 9 though, so that's only a 14.
Let me double check what my key DC is on that. 8 plus my wisdom. You said you rolled a 14?
Oh, I keep muting myself. Yes, rolled 14.
Okay, so that just saves then.
Okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the bonus effects won't activate because it did manage to save, which is a little sad, but that's fine. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's gonna be it for Anubia.
Okay. All right. Next up, then we're back to top of the order with Desade.
All right. So narratively, what I would like to have happen is like I'm approaching this thing, and as I'm walking over to it, like my shadow splits off, and I am going to be right here, and I'm going to position my shadow. I'm going to ping it because I can't move. I want to position my shadow like right here. That's the 30-foot movement that I can move it for free each round. And then, yeah, I'm going to do my 4 attacks per turn. This will be the last time I can do 4 per turn. This is my class feature. And yeah, I'm just going to approach it with a look of murderous bloodlust in my eyes and just do my best to kill it.
Wonderful. Let's see.
All right, so first attack is going to be 28 total. I'm just going to roll all my attacks first, since this is just here.
Mm-hmm.
Second attack. Oh, bitch. That's a natural 1 plus... Yeah, that's not going to do it.
Not even with the D4?
No, not even with the D4. It would have been 14 total.
Oh, yeah.
Third attack. This will be with the crossbow. That'll do it. That's a natural 20.
Yeah.
That'll do it, yeah.
And then final attack with the rapier from the echoed position. That's a 28 again. So it'll be, let's roll the crossbow first because that's a crit. How do you do crits?
You may double the dice or double the damage, whatever you prefer.
Okay. I will double the dice.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to re-roll that one with my piercer feat. That's much better. So that's going to be 5, 6, 16 damage from the crossbow, and then 2d8 plus 14 for the rapier. It's going to be 5. I can only reroll that one with piercer once per turn. So 6 plus 4, so 20 points from the rapier.
Okay. In addition to the 16 or
in
total?
addition to the 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just come up to it again. And this time I actually hold like a very sort of like flat, like again, sort of like a salon fencer position, giving it a very small profile to aim at, and I'm just like in and out with like precise poking.
I love precise poking. Fantastic. Does it, if there's nothing else for your turn?
No,
Fia?
I am out.
Fantastic. Fia, is there any support you would like to do, or just cheer from the wayside? Do you want to just like light up one with Saskia?
I mean, yeah. Okay, here's my question: are mage hands invisible in Damaris, or like are they visible to other people?
It depends on. So mage hands can be invisible if you have that particular ability. So most mage hands can be seen, but like if you are a trickster rogue, if you are, I think, a Gith Yankee, there's like certain classifications you can have that can make your mage hand invisible. If you don't have that, your mage hand, it can be seen.
Okay. Because what I would love to do, and I might just do it anyway, just for shits and giggles, is I would like to, as stealthily as I can, cast Mage Hand behind the big giant knoll.
Okay.
And just have it like pull its ears or pull its tail.
Okay. I am going to say
to be
that
annoying.
The next attack on the knoll will have advantage.
Great.
That the gnolls see that and start like, kind of cackling and laughing at it. Not even like, oh, you shouldn't do that. I mean, they're a bunch of raiding pirate gnolls. I'm not even going to say like, oh, all gnolls will be okay with this, but this group of gnolls, very okay with playing dirty.
And Fia is doing this as like casually as possible, like lean back against the railing at this point and sort of cheering on.
It's total coincidence the mage hand looks like a harpy claw. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. It is definitely talon shaped in nature. Yeah, that's pretty much it. She's very much enjoying this show, frankly.
Okay. Let's see. So was reach? I think that's just enough. I am going to check reach on one thing just to see if, like, Croak, you're just outside of it. So, it is the gnoll's turn. It is going to take its flail. I'm using the flind. I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced. Stat block for this gnoll. So it has a flail of chaos, flail of pain, and flail of paralysis. It is going to make one attack on Anubia and one on each of the Desidays. So, for Anubia, that is nat 20 to hit. For actual Desiday, that is a 27. And then for secondary Desiday, that is a dirty 20. So, starting first, Anubia, I will need a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw from you.
You have a D4 on that?
Yes.
Completely forgot about that. It is a 17.
Fantastic. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and though for a moment you feel intense rage, like undirectable kind of rage, that seems to settle on Desade, you were able to shake it off and not take an attack against Desade. Yes. So for Desade Prime, you are going to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are also going to take. Let me actually do a dice roller for this one. So in 22 points of psychic damage. So in total, what was that? That was 13 plus 22, so 35 points of damage in total. And then secondary Desiree did not get hit, if I remember right.
I believe she did. It was a dirty 20.
That's right. That was the dirty 20. And the nat 20 was did I have a nat 20?
Nat 20 was against Anubia, I believe.
Me.
Anubia. Okay, so I'm sorry, Anubia, you actually take 24 points of bludgeoning damage, as that is doubled. But then, yes, Desade, secondary Desade B is only going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and I will need a Constitution saving throw if she can be paralyzed.
Yeah, Desade 2 is just out. Desade 2 only has 1 hit point.
Okay. All right. Desade 2 ceases to exist. A better solution for this null than paralyzing in the first place. That is it for its turn. And we're back to top of the order then with... Or no, not top of the order, but I'm sorry. We're now to Saskia. So Saskia, if there is any other support you would like to provide, or if you would just like to be a good cheerleader from the stands, you absolutely may.
Well, I assume they're not looking great, right? The two of them.
The Knoll, you could do a medicine check if you wanted to try to determine.
Yeah, I'm trying to gauge how long this is gonna last, and if my
like a lot of creatures, it's easy to determine like, wow, they've lost a lot of blood, but this thing's being powered by some like darker magic. So even though it's taken a lot of physical damage to the point where like this thing shouldn't be standing, you would need a medicine check to determine how much more this thing could potentially take.
Yeah, I rolled a 13. Not
okay. 13, better than just average. This thing took a lot of damage on its last turn. You suspect that if, the attacks can continue on as such, it might not last another turn order. Unless it has, something to boost itself up. It's hobbling at this point.
All right. What I'm going to do, I don't know if the Knolls will be happy about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very casually take out, I'm going to look as unconcerned as possible, and I'm going to take out my pipe. I'm going to light it. I'm immune to disease, by the way, to everybody. Don't try this at home. Smoke it. I'm going to yell out, "Is that really the best you've got?" And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery as my cantrip.
Yeah.
That is a Wisdom 14. Because again, Magic Initiate and Bard, and this is a cantrip that I took.
Okay, so +5 Wisdom saving throw, 21.
Oh man, +5 Wisdom. It's great to know.
Surprisingly wise, terrifying, horrible monster.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's it's only a cantrip, but
okay.
Yikes.
All right, the Knolls actually do laugh at your joke, just that horrible, like, cacophony of hyena cackles. Apparently they thought that was really funny, as this, I'm going to reference the movie Troy. This Boagrius of their army has being mocked from the sidelines. Those of you who enjoyed Brad Pitt's movie Troy, you'll get that one. Thanks, Alex.
Because it's only a cantrip. Wait. I don't think Magic Initiate lets me cast it more than once because it's a player's handbook. Yeah, no. I'll hold on to it.
Okay. Then we're back to, after Saskia, Croak. It is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there. 2 more shots with my bow. It's going to be. Do I have advantage on this one because of the
You
outcoping?
You
Cool.
do. You have advantage on the first
on that
attack.
one. It's a 22 and a 23.
Both will hit.
Cool. So first shot is going to be 9 plus 10 plus 5. So that's going to be 24 points of piercing on the first hit.
Okay.
And then for the second shot, that is 10. And then I'm going to activate Gathering Swarm. So some of the spectral ravens are going to fly down and start pecking at the big gnoll.
Okay.
For another 6 points of damage. So that's 16 total for that shot.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
I think from up above, the rest of the ravens are just going to start like bobbing up and down and like kind of do like that croaking laugh that they do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. It is the Knoll Captain's turn, who, seeing that it's totally fine to play dirty, reaches into his pouch, and as the Knoll that you are fighting has 1 hit point left, he is going to pull a Baldur's Gate 3 and throw a potion, smashing it against the back of the Knoll's head. So with a potion of greater healing, Nubia, it is now your turn.
So, side note, like seeing this potion splash on this Knoll champion's back, I guess, how reinvigorated does it look?
Let's find out. Let's find out together.
Yeah.
It would still have fewer than 10 hit points.
Cake. Okay. All right. You know what? Seeing how this happens, Anubia is going to sheath her sword and just straight up put her dukes up.
Okay.
So she's gonna go in straight first off within actually, first things first, before she even puts her dukes up, she's going to just slightly move around for tactical advantage. So she's basically just gonna move right here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that would count as flanking with Desade or no?
Yeah, I would give you advantage on that.
Yeah. All right. So she'll launch. She'll go straight into an unarmed strike with that, because yeah, that last hit hurt a lot. $27 to hit.
27 absolutely hits.
All right. Let's roll my damage. 8 damage, and because of the first unarmed strike that I've hit on an enemy this turn, I get to roll 1d6 of psychic damage.
Please do, as this Knoll now again has 1 hit point left.
That's 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Nubia, would you like to describe how you finish off this Knoll champion?
So seeing how this Knoll champion is, even still after that potion of healing, is still looking fairly haggard. She'll obviously move to gain that tactical advantage, but with a quick sort of 1-2 punch, kind of pausing on that second punch and just like sending that psychic energy just straight into that Knoll. You can almost see like a weird haunting visage of what looks like to people who kind of realize it, almost like a visage in the shape of Anubis, almost. It just flashes for a brief second, but it's kind of a blink and you miss it. But that's
Incredible.
all it is, and just
all of you, Knolls, harbingers, sailors alike, watches this huge, this giant-sized knoll just topples forwards, nearly crushing Desade as it does, its flail almost dissipating in the magic that was sustaining both itself and the flail. Just kind of like a shadow seems to rip from this knoll and dissipates like smoke, and it almost like becomes lesser as it begins to fall, as the constitution, the magical constitution given to it, is taken from its body, and it just reverts to a regular like medium knoll size. And it is silent on the ship for what seems like a few eternities, as the sailors look to the knolls look to the sailors, not a cackle to be heard amongst them as their champion has fallen. And your eyes turn to the knoll captain, and he kind of makes this whistle with his knoll mouth. It's tough because it's not something that a human mouth can really make, and it comes from like the back of his jowls all the way through these cracked front teeth. And all of the gnolls very steadily, orderly now, for perhaps the first time you've ever seen these raiders in any sort of orderly fashion, begin to jump down onto the deck of their ship that is still latched onto yours. And the Knoll captain waits for all of his sailors to board one by one, him being the last one. And he looks to all of you.
That was well worth it. Come back this way sometime. I would love to have another chance at you.
Don't hold your breath.
The mage hand that Fia had put up is still, I think, at this point, still up as it's going, and she's gonna just use it to flick the captain on the nose.
You're just like a little yipe.
Mm-hmm.
They go
I hope you got what you wanted then.
He throws one of the gnolls over his shoulder, one of the dead ones.
We will still eat tonight.
And they take their dead with them. They leave the sailors that they were able to take out on the deck of your ship. And as their ship, again with the crunch, detaches, you notice that the Halcyon is not necessarily taking on water. Probably could appreciate a few boards being patched up over that hole. But as the Halcyon goes to return to the seas, the pirate raiders from Gondala now leaving you all to set sail once again. That is where we're going to take our break. So we will be back in about 10 to 15. Go ahead and do the things. Take care of yourselves. Stick around, and we'll be back shortly. Avast and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Harbingers, Horizon's call game. I am Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. Before we jump back into stuff, I just want to say a couple of neat things about the Entertainment Community Fund, which is the organization these wonderful folks have chosen to support, and in lieu of any type of financial support to themselves. So anything that you are willing and able to give, both those factors important together, goes directly towards the Entertainment Community Fund, formerly known as the Actors Fund. It is a organization that basically works through a broad spectrum of programs to support the arts. Specifically, theater arts is one of the big pushes. They have workshops, support groups, online resources, emergency financial assistance to all ensure that people in theater, film, television, radio, music, dance, opera, and circus, whether on stage or camera, behind the scenes or below the line, all find support regardless of where they are in life. This was a very important fund during COVID, when basically everything shut down. It has been important through the strikes recently as well. And it is important year round because the strikes were happening because people were not getting paid a living wage to work in one of the most profitable industries ever known to humanity. and the people that were really the creators of the things were not able to afford basic necessities. So in that sense, the Entertainment Community Fund steps in, but it also steps in for a number of other programs as well. It helps with people with job resources, and basically works all around the country to make sure that the people in the arts can continue to do the jobs that they do that bring us so much joy and entertainment. So anything that you're able and willing to donate is very much appreciated and can impact this game. So bear that in mind. Let's jump back into stuff. So, with the Knolls having boarded their own ship, broken apart from you, sailed back to Gondala, there are minor repairs that need to be done to your ship. Mostly it's the two sizable holes where the ships, the Knoll raiding ships, latched onto yours. But with your bosun working quickly, along with several other sailors, they are able to board those up to make sure that you are not going to take on water. Otherwise, it's cosmetic. It's where the harpoons and grappling hooks were kind of hooking into the railing. But you all, now freed, can continue your journey. Is there anything that any of you wanted to do before we kind of fast forward a little bit in our journey? Okay.
At some point that night, can I just, this is just like purely fluff, can I procure like a drink for Croak and Anubia?
Certainly, yes. There are various beverages to be acquired on a ship such as this. Rum, obviously, being the common one, but it is also known for officers to store away a fine bottle of this or that. So yes, you may break out the good stuff for your battle compatriots.
Yeah, and I'll just like track them down wherever they are in and around like the mess hall at around like, you know, sometime in the evening, and just track them down like a fine drink for my battle companions and something like that.
Okay.
At some point in that same evening, Fiat will also track down Desiree and need to go over some business harbinger business stuff.
Yes, important business.
Harbinger. Yeah.
Yes, business.
Great.
Okay. Yes. All the winks and nods to that. Okay. Cool. Your journey continues steadily. Weeks going by. You still are. Let's see. So you're coming around the south of Gondala. I am going to say that you all have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, just about 6 weeks left at sea before you all reach the port in question, and that is cutting some time as well, as the Halcyon does seem to be a fast clipper ship indeed. Anything any of you wanted to achieve in those 6 weeks? Anything you wanted to train for, work on, prepare before you reach port? Okay. With that, then the weeks go by.
I will note I am putting a first level spell of some sort into my Ring of Spellstoring. I haven't decided what it is, but it's a first level spell of some sort.
You have time to decide. Perfect. The weeks go by. You hit a small squall, nothing serious along your way, but before long you do see the shores of Lymeria come into view. You're coming along the southern edge, the southwestern port of Cianthray is where you are going to be docking. And as your ship comes around into this harbor, you see the beauty of a land very foreign to, I wouldn't say all of you. I'm not sure any of you would have ever been this far west before. What you see are a number of ships that are of a different structure than what you are used to. You are used to the tall mast ships, the square sails, or at least, the four-sided sails. Around here, you see a number of fishing vessels as well as trading vessels, which are moving about the port. They have large triangular sails, which are almost fan-like in nature, where they can fold up and down with almost this like a webbing to them, in a sense, almost like the wing of a bat is what it maybe reminds you of a little bit. They have multiple of these triangular sails that all kind of twist around each other, making them very maneuverable as you go to sail past them. And you see a variety of peoples on these ships who all are taking off their wide-brimmed hats to look at you and wave as you move into the harbor. You see that there are Alafi, snake folk who have the upper half of a human, the bottom half of a serpent. You can see that there are humans, certainly. Lizard folk who are actually swimming about. You can see them kind of swimming beneath the surface of the water with nets and harpoons in search of fish. There are turtle moving about, tabaxi on a few of the ships. Even small grung that you see in the crow's nest of ships, these brightly colored tree frog folk. As the ship goes to dock, it docks alongside a number of ships where it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. This is one of the few ships that would have come from the broken bridge, or even from familiar places like the dwarven lands of Axia or the human lands of Anoth. A lot of the ships here have a very different structure, so you all tend to stand out a little bit. In addition to the Halcyon being a ship that has darker wood to it and these colored sails, there's a lot of attention being given, especially to those in port. From those in port, I should say. As you look out onto this island, you can see that it is just verdant and lush with this very thick jungle that goes on seemingly forever up to this crested mountain that's further inland as well. You can't see like every single shore. It is a very large island. The port of Kian Thray has these very tall buildings that are layered and have these very sharp angled roofs to them that almost come down, almost creating a W, but not quite with that angle on either side. And they are layered into 3 stories if they get up that tall. There's some that are just a single story. Some fishing buildings as well that are smaller, seem to be made of like clay and stone. And then the further in they go, the more ornate and substantial the construction is. Again, it is well populated. The docks are well accommodated for a ship such as yours. And as the Halcyon docks and the boardwalk is laid out before you, you see the boardwalk just terminates into a bunch of yellow-white sand, which otherwise incorporates the entirety of this beach. And the port awaits you. What would you all like to do?
Well, I think the first order of business is to try and make friends with the locals and suss out if there's any news or anything unusual going around in these parts.
I agree. We're gonna need all the information we can find.
I can't remember. Did we have a contact out here?
Oh,
You do.
Oh,
You
that's
do.
right. We do have a contact out here.
Yes, there was the 6th member of your little group,
Right, we should
which
find
is
them.
a minotaur named Hostius.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then I will propose that to the group.
And you were made aware that Hostius should stand out because minotaur aren't frequent around this area. And is a large individual, a black-furred minotaur with horns that are cracked and bound together with golden rings, and also are carved with runes or sigils.
Well, we should find her. We should find them first. Do we know? We assume that the Halcyon is staying until it's time for us to depart, or are they like just dropping us off?
Yeah, as you all prepare to leave, Captain Zara is there with Tall Joe and all of her officers. She is giving shore leave to her men. I trust that your voyage was a successful one, and not an unpleasant one, all things told. Of course, trying not to mention our brief run-in there. Thank you, of course, for your assistance with that.
Oh, it was a lovely time. And a little spice never hurts.
Yes, speaking of, we plan to pick up a significant level of spice here for trade. Will you be traveling back with us?
That depends on your timetable. When do you plan on leaving?
It has been a decent amount of time since I've given my men a good portion of shore leave. I could stay no longer than 2 weeks.
We'll keep you updated then.
Yeah, I think I should hope that her business only takes us 2 weeks here, but if you don't see us, assume that we're dead or something.
Gladly. I will leave in 2 weeks if I do not hear otherwise, but the least I can do is offer you passage back, as you seem to be very good luck for my ship.
It's rare that we hear that we're good luck for a ship, but that's awful nice.
It's better to consider it a pirate attack to be good luck.
Surviving a pirate attack is good luck. Take care of yourselves. Try not to die. And should you have anything of value you wish to bring back, I am more than happy to give you gold in exchange for it.
Lovely. No, but seriously, the last time I was on a ship, it was a friend of mine even threatened to kill me and shove me off the ship because I was bad luck, because she thought I was responsible for her ship crashing, which I was not. I'm just saying.
I feel like there's more to that story, but
perhaps there's a little bit more to that story, but
thank you, Captain. We'll be going now.
Yes, you will. Okay. And tall Joe stayed behind you like, okay, nothing more to see here. Move along. Move along. So as your various types of feet all click-clack across the dock and move on to the very soft, warm sand, the village... what's that?
Sorry. That was Fia being, oh, I hate walking in sand. So she's like, doing that, like hops across.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's
like
the
half
best one
gliding.
because she's got the very wide kind of stance to it. I don't know.
With the claws and the sinking into the sand, it's,
I think of Anubia and those poor paw pads, all sandy now.
Oh yeah, that's always a pain to clean.
But the very busy port of Kian Thray awaits you all, and you can see that there are mostly dirt paths. If you go towards some of the larger buildings, they might have like some cobblestone that leads up to them. But for the most part, you are looking at oxen-led carts that are driving their wheels into the dirt itself. It seems like it hasn't rained here in a while. It is very warm. It is very sunny, and it is just about past noon at this point in the day as your ship has arrived. Where to first?
Oh, I say check in at the local inn or tavern to see if they've seen our friend. Keep eyes peeled for a giant minotaur, for a large minotaur. It can't be that hard to miss.
And if no one's seen this person at the inn, we could split up and
scour the town.
Try and find information, then reconvene tonight and see what we learn.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So yes, there are basically anything you would expect in a medium-large sized town or city. So you will have access to any type of merchantry you might be looking for. If you're looking for potions, armor, weapons, those sorts of things, even magical items. But an inn is to be expected. A tavern where people drink. This is a fishing village, first and foremost. And after a long day of fishing, anybody wants a drink. So you would find the Copperhead is the name of the tavern here, and it is lit by lanterns, as there are not a lot of windows, and has a very stuffy kind of vibe to it that only the best of taverns do. Even though it is only a little bit past midday, it is dark in here, aside from the lanterns that hang about, these orb-like lanterns. And you can see that there are not a lot of people in here. There are a couple of goblins which are sitting at one of the corner tables and seem to be counting coins back and forth from each other. There is an Alafi who has coiled himself around one of the tables and is asleep, face down, not really sitting, but more like slumped over in the chair. And behind the bar is a humanoid individual, is what I will say for that. They have, as you get closer, serpentine eyes and some patches of scales around their cheekbones that lead down. And as they go to smile at you, they have these very long viper-like fangs. And he puts his hands on, kind of sprays down on the bar a little bit. Hello. Welcome. You all are new here. I can smell the travel on you. What can I offer you something to drink?
Actually, I mean, yes to a drink, but we're looking for somebody, and, these tend to be the best places to find if you're looking for someone.
If you are looking for that, that particular house of pleasure is down the road. But I do understand that everyone is looking for someone, certainly.
No, not like that. You seen a big bullish type, black fur, big horns, wandering around these parts any recently?
Perhaps. Why are you inquiring about this individual who may or may not be here?
We're friends.
I have perhaps met this individual, and a friend he does not seem to be. Are you looking to kill him?
Oh, no. No, this is not... I'm not trying to be cagey here. We're actually friends. We are looking for them. They have information for us, specifically.
Go ahead and roll for persuasion.
All right.
Can I, why is this, why are they being so cagey? Like, what's the vibe here?
Yeah. Would you like to roll for insight, or would you like to ask that question of them?
I'm gonna suss it out first. I'll do an insight first.
That's a 8 on that persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh geez, where'd it go? Oh, that's so bad. Do I want to use? Actually, I'm gonna use my reroll that somebody had donated.
I have
to us
inspiration.
last week.
Yes,
you have inspiration.
I do. Hold on.
Is that any better?
13.
A 9. Okay, so what's 9 plus 3? It's 12. That's a lot better than natural 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
With a 13 persuasion, his eyes do narrow a little bit. You all are different than the past few who asked about Big Hoss, but...
Big Hoss. Well, that's a new one.
Hostius? Yes, Big Hoss. He comes through about once a week. Picks up any messages that are left here. Always asks that if anyone asks for him to vet them first. Do you have anything that you could perhaps show me?
Do the Harbingers have a badge or like a symbol?
We do.
Yeah, some do carry a badge. There is a symbol of the Triskelion with the 3 black birds around it. That's like the most official symbol, but because there are so many varieties of belief within the Harbingers, some people use 3 spears. It's typically a symbol of 3, or even like Fia has used in the past, like a black feather is also a good equivalent.
I'm wondering if we can get Croak, if Croak can use his spectral birds to create the thing, and like Fia sort of nudges Croak.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Pretty sure Croak has like a pendant with the symbol on it in his art.
Oh yeah.
So he's just gonna like
that's true.
Fish
does have the
under
pendant.
his hood with like his little vestigial wings, and like fish out the pendant and show it to the barkeep.
I forgot.
Like the Fia's like, do the thing, do the thing. And he's
okay.
Not the thing.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Good.
Very well. Gena, to address your insight check, you can see that like as he's going on, there is a level of suspicion here. Like even as he's pouring drinks, you kind of like put an eye to them, like is he doing something extra? There's more just a hesitancy around you all, and kind of his eyes are darting to other points in the room, to the goblins, to the Alafi, to anyone that might not necessarily be obviously seen here is kind of what you're picking up. He's trying to make sure your conversation is between just you all and him, and not anyone else who might be listening in.
Okay.
Fine. Big Horse typically comes in, well, this evening, really. But what is weird is I did not see him last week. I thought that he perhaps gotten busy. It seems like he is busy often these days. Doing this and that in the jungle, coming back with scratches and cuts and all sorts of things that he needs medical help for down at the healing pots. I don't ask about them. He has asked me not to ask about them. As he has asked me to make sure that anyone who asks about him is, again, properly vetted. And there have been some who have asked about your organization. I sent them in a different direction. What I can tell you is that Big Horse has been staying just down the road. There's a number of rentals there that some sailors will use. He, as I understand it, has a long-term rental. Look for the huts with the green roof. You'll find him there. And I would not go around parading who you are. There are some strange folk who have been asking about you. People I don't want in my bar.
It's not unexpected.
Fair enough. I'm gonna slide a gold piece.
He splays out a number of shot glasses with total, like, crystal clear liquor inside of them that will burn the nose with a sniff. Local specialty. On the house.
I'll take a shot, and then if anyone doesn't take a shot, I'll take theirs.
I'll take a shot.
I will also take a shot.
Krog is going to grip one of the shot glasses in his beak and then just like throw it back without hands.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, I think Anubi will also take her shot.
Well, we're just not questioning this.
No.
He just he looks to all of you and he says, my name is Chaya. I will be your humble servant should you pay me well enough for it. Should you need guides into the jungle, I am happy to arrange them for you. Should you need information, I will happily gather it for you. I will not fight for you. That is where I draw the line. But I will happily arrange anything else that you might need, including fighters, should you have the coin for them.
Well, 5 of us were plenty capable as it is, but I thank you for the information.
Of course. Well, we at the Copperhead aim to serve.
Welcome to Kianthray.
Thank you. Lovely island you got here. I kind of want to just sort of do sort of a cursory glance around the bar at the folks that are around, and just like clock who we haven't been particularly hiding who we are or what we're doing, but I do want to clock if anybody's taken note outside of just the like, oh, who are these people kind of thing, or if anybody seems to be paying too close attention.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. That is a 29.
Okay. You look around the room, and you see the Alafi very much asleep. Very much like the cup that they had, which is empty, still like gripped in their hands, but on its side. Very much passed out. The goblins are bickering to each other in Goblin, where one of them is sliding a coin. They both have like their fingertip on a single coin, and they're like sliding it back and forth. And you notice it's just a copper. They're just like they're just fighting over a copper at this point. But it's as you're scanning the room, you see that there's a human in the corner who might be staff. Just seems like he's eating a bowl of something. And then your eyes are like just at the peripheral, you see somebody who is bolting out the door. Humanoid in shape, not like an Alafi with a lower snake half, but you catch them like look back at you, and you can't necessarily tell what it is, but there's something just off about the facial structure. Like you get this weird uncanny valley vibe off of them.
Interesting. Well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
I don't know anything about that.
Looks like somebody just ran out of here very quickly, and you know, there's something to being a little loud on an entrance, especially when you can pay attention to who and how people respond. But there's somebody who may know something. I do feel like perhaps it might not be a bad idea for some of us to go see if we can find our friend. Personally, I'd like to go and check on our friend who just left the bar. See if they have any other information for us.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, and who's going to check on our informant friend?
I can go check on the informant. I'm not much use in a chase.
I'll go with Fia then.
Right.
Okay.
Croak will kind of step closer to Fia.
Good. I think we might need you and your friends.
I'll go visit it. Can't be going by yourself.
Okay. So Saskia and Desiree going to go find Hostius, and the other three going on chase. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's start with the chase, since you're the ones kind of bolting out the door. For those of you who are running out, go ahead and give me perception checks as you kind of run out of the tavern into what is otherwise a bustling street of merchants, locals, and also, I mean, sailors. I mean, you're kind of in the center of the trade of goods, so there's a lot of carts moving about, a lot of stuff going on.
I'm gonna use my other reroll.
While perception checks are being rolled, I would like to bet Saskia 5 silver that they don't find anything.
Oh.
Alright.
Good job on that.
30-20.
I'm going to burn a use of my Kenku recall to give myself advantage on this.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
So nat 20 for 27.
Okay.
All right, and then Nubia, what was your roll?
22. Sorry, 23. Sorry.
Okay, so all 20 or above, you all, even in the bustling street, kind of see this. They look like a wood elf. Is the thing. So there's a darker complexion to them. They go to pull up their hood like any sort of suspicious person, because who the fuck is wearing a hood in the middle of a sunny day? But it's brown. It kind of blends in with almost the dirt, and that's all being kicked up around. And you see as they kind of dodge around the front of a cart as it's moving past, and go running to an alley in between buildings. How would you all like to proceed?
As part of my nat 20, can I send like one or two of my spectral ravens to kind of like trail from above to kind of like
For
mark
sure.
their position?
Definitely. I love that. Okay. So, can you see through the ravens? Is that how it works?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Can you see through the ravens? Is that how that
No,
works?
they're not familiars. But
Okay.
I just want to like, it's think of it like the plum blob from like Sims to like, kind of like mark their position on a map.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, yes. I'm trying to think of any other contemporary, but yeah, that is absolutely better. Okay, so yes, with the ravens above kind of going like here, you can see that the alley does not seem to dead end, that the wood elf seems to be moving behind buildings, kind of in between buildings. They seem to be moving around some of the warehouses where a lot of goods are stored here at port. How would the rest of you like to proceed, as you can kind of see them moving about at a surprisingly quick pace, I should note?
Fias's going to also be flying since I move a little faster that way,
Mhm.
as stealthily and quietly as I can through, and trying to like keep up with them as much as possible without losing sight of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anubia is going to be taking the ground, basically just trying to similar way, just kind of move as stealthily but quickly as she possibly can.
Sure. Okay. Um, so pursuing this elf from land and air, you can see that they seem to be skirting along the edges of buildings, ducking in and out of people. The ravens are keeping a pretty good eye on them, but you can see that at a certain point they kind of duck into one of the side entrances of a building. Birds get stopped for a second, only to see them come out the other side and pick up their pursuit. They seem to be moving, like winding in and out, trying to get to the edge of this village and get towards the tree line, which is some distance away. That's like logically, with your perception checks as high as they are, that's where you can kind of see them going. Is there anything you'd like to do with that information?
I want to signal to the others that I'd like to try and stop them before they hit the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I am close enough, I would love to just send out sort of a psychic blast at them to try and sort of catch them off guard. A mind sliver, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okie dokie. Just trying to disorient them. Oh, they have to succeed on an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. 19 on the die, so I believe that is a success.
That is a success. Okay. That yeah, that's that. No
Okay.
half damage or anything because it's a little cantrip.
You get like this almost like the spike is pointed backwards towards you. You're just able, like, mentally to deflect your own psychic attack, as there's definitely something off about there's something aberrant about this creature's mind.
Then, if depending on how everybody else is reacting,
Mm-hmm.
I will try and like book it to do to try and grab them with my whip, or at least get a whip attack on them.
Okay. So kind of closing that distance, getting up really high, going to swoop in, conveying that to your partners in chase. Anubia, is there any way you'd like to assist? Anything you'd like to add on to that? Croak, anything that you would like to do as the ravens kind of indicate towards Fia's dive attack with the whip?
Way I could really assist is if I could get in close to it, this mystery person, but it's probably just dash as fast as I can to get as close as I can in the shortest amount of time possible.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that Anubia kind of almost a head above almost literally anybody else in this village, kind of running through, jumping on top of carts. I see a lot of parkour from Anubia.
Definitely.
Yeah, you go to kind of do those very similar pincer move to what the Knoll ships were doing to your ship, where you go to cut them off and see if you can catch them at a certain point. Fia, as you go to dive, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okie dokie. That is a 22.
Yeah, 22 absolutely hits. Is there any effect you're putting on this, or are you just using the whip to try to entangle and grapple?
Yeah, I'm trying to use it. This isn't really. It's only vaguely something that whips can do. It's not. I am trying to use it to basically grab them.
Yeah. No, I dig it. Yeah. I'm totally cool with that.
Great.
Okay, so you will have them essentially bound. We're gonna do kind of turn order real quick. It'll be all of you, then this wood elf. So on their turn, they will have basically the ability to try to break free. So as you snap the whip around them, and it binds their arms to their side, they spin around, and you see Anubia's caught up at this point, Croak, you as well. You all would see a face that is stretched in an odd way. Again, very uncanny valley. The eyes don't seem to focus right. The right eye being completely black in color. The skin of this wood elf seems pallid in an unsettling way. And as the hood kind of falls back, you see that there's also almost a stitching that comes around the ear, with several scar marks all over the neck. And they're wearing this very simple clothing, very much to blend in sort of vibe is kind of what you're getting. And the mouth just kind of goes slack, and you hear this strange tempo of a sound that it's only after a moment you connect is supposed to be laughter, but it is not the way that any standard creature might express laughter. What would you all like to do?
I feel like I'm kind of shocked by by this noise and this creature. This was not what I was expecting. So I'm gonna.
Crow's gonna go for his short sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nubia's just gonna go straight for the fists, honestly.
Okay. Does not seem to react to that. So if you all are not going to do anything, it is going to try to fight its way from the whip. Fia, you watch as what should be bone doesn't have a lot of solid quality to it, and it seems to almost compress itself like those goopy toys that were always slippery when you were a kid, and it almost compresses itself like a Go-Gurt. It compresses itself like a Go-Gurt and slips from the whip very much bonelessly. And as it kind of compiles itself back on the floor, on the ground, it reconstitutes with this strange wet snapping noise and stands far too wide, almost like a crab is what it reminds you of, with this wide stance and its hands outwards, where it's now holding two knives, and its eyes just divert in two directions to look towards Croak and Fia and look towards Anubia.
Oh, that certainly is not how I was expecting this to go.
Oh, I hate this very much, and I will definitely try and hit it, like, for real.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I hate... Actually, yes. Yes. Oh, I
Yes,
hate this.
yes.
Oh, I hate this. This is... That's a 15.
15 will hit.
Great. Fantastic. This is, just plain old whip damage. That is 10 points of damage from the whip.
Your whip is magical, correct?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Okay. So yes, your whip connects, and you watch as the skin of this thing seems to split. Please use your safety cards if I'm getting close to anything. Seems to split, and you see a wriggling from within that almost stitches itself back together.
Ooh.
It's almost like its skin is plasticine in a way. And you can see movement kind of like crawl around it as it reconstitutes.
Is this ringing any bells as far as like monsters that I would have come across before, anything that I've heard of before?
I'm not sure you would have encountered anything like this necessarily. I think this is this is not something that's been seen for a while, but yeah, I don't think you would have come across this before. But you might have read about it. If you would like to roll me a history check. I'm gonna say with disadvantage because of
because I get advantage on like Fey, Fiends, and Undead for history checks.
Okay. Let me double check what this is.
Just as
I think it might be an aberration.
Okay.
But I will double check.
Let me also double check what that actually is, because it's a blood hunter thing.
This is an aberration.
Okay, so I would not have advantage on whatever the fuck this thing is, and I hate it very much. Cool. Yeah. All right. You said history check?
Yes.
Okay, at disadvantage.
Please.
Great. Okay, that is a 9. No, sorry, 10.
Okay. Not sure you would necessarily have the puzzle pieces put together just yet.
Right.
This is definitely something unpleasant. But what exactly it is, I don't think you necessarily have enough to like solidly in your head go, this is this thing, this is how we kill it, this is we've seen them before sort of deal.
Gotcha.
No, as far as you're aware, this is real messed up. This is pretty fucked up. Even as the whip goes to strike and it kind of like stitches itself back up from within, you can see that it is like making little crab movements and trying to like move backwards. Anubia, Croak, are there any attacks you would like to make?
Seeing this kind of thing kind of just make its way, Anubia's throwing caution to the wind, just like Fiat, just going full force to hit it, honestly. Yeah. So we'll go in straight with an unarmed strike. That is a 27.
It definitely hits. Yeah.
Cool. Fish on my D8 now. Wait a second. That is 6 points of damage.
Okay. And this is your unarmed strike. So as you go to punch it, it feels like a punching bag full of jello. You feel almost like a popping, sort of, as like the concussive force hits this thing, and there's something that bursts from within, like a humanoid gusher. You know.
Yeah,
Again, please use your
yeah.
safety cards. Thank you. Okay. And it does not seem upset about what just happened. In fact, it's still just making that strange laughing noise that's still just coming out of it. And the tempo has slowed down a little bit to where it's more just like ha ha ha. Croak, was there anything you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna mark this thing with a hunter's mark, and then I'm gonna go in for a couple attacks.
Okay.
All right. That is that's a nat 20 on that one.
Oh, we love that.
And a 19 on the other.
Okay.
So I'm gonna double the dice for this. Okay, so that is 10 plus 15. And then another for the swarm. That is 36 points of piercing damage for the crit.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
God.
As the blade hits, and then like the swarm starts like swarming around and pecking at like various points, trying to like get at whatever is wriggling under there. And then for the second hit, this is the non-crit. That is 10 points of piercing.
Okay. With all of that, as the birds, just surround this thing as you do this massive damage to it. You watch as its face actually does shift for the first time, and that just open jaw kind of just almost cartoonishly just turns into like a sad clown face, like the upside down U, and it just starts going, no, 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 no. And as you have it backed up against a wall, essentially, you're in this alleyway, it begins to slowly just step back, and begins to, again, use your safety cards, not a lot of people like this word, squelch its way through a space in the boards just like 1 inch wide. You hear this popping noise as anything solid on it is kind of left behind, and it just pushes its entire form goopily through to the other side. It leaves behind the knives it was holding. It leaves behind a bag that it had around it, some of the clothing as well. And you, let's see, past perceptions. I think all of you would hear
really
just
high,
like a skittering noise on the other side that dissipates after a period of time. Let's cut over to those who are investigating Hostias. So Desiree and Saskia, heading down, making your way downtown, walking fast to find a minotaur that you're friends with. You are moving along the busy streets. Perhaps you might even see like Anubia parkouring from cart to cart, maybe Fia flying overhead. It's not your problem. So moving along, is there anywhere you would look to go before, or are you just heading straight to the rental that Hostias has?
What are the chances there is a seedy, shitty pirate bar on the way?
Yeah.
I think you found it already.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that is Copperheads. There's a much more like
All right.
there's a TGI Fridays along the way, but yeah,
Okay.
you definitely found the place that the pirates go. Um, I will say that sure, Copperheads has a competitor, um, the Viper Pit. Sure, it's all snake themed. Uh, they also have like a drink you can walk around with. It's just like it's a like a snake that you pour a bunch of liquor into, and you know the other one also has a snake, but theirs has like a theirs is a different color, and there's a whole license thing over it. Nobody gets this joke, but it's just for me. It's just a bar rescue joke, and I'm very into it. Um, so yes, you would be able to find a pirate bar, which maybe is a little more occupied than Copperheads was because pirates day drink. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you would see that along the way as well. Noted by the fact that as you're walking by, two pirates are wrestling with each other out of the doors and throw each other into the dirt, where they're just kind of rolling around and carts are moving around them to make sure they don't get run over.
I'll just note the location of the pirate bar.
Noted. Okay. Continuing on then to the rental property, you would find a line of essentially a building that is raised up somewhat. You're further enough inland, but you still note that a lot of the buildings here are raised up on stilts, just in case the water line does tend to rise. And you find that there are 3 residences, almost like condos, just all next to each other, with a metal green roof, like oxidized copper, and the doors to the first one are open, seemingly unoccupied. The door to the second and third are closed, although you do see that the third one opens up, and a human steps out. It's on a kind of sailor's jacket, turns around, locks the door, leaves, tips his hat, nods to you as he is passing by. The middle door is still left closed. You kind of get the vibe that that might be Haas's place. You weren't really given specifics about it.
Saskia, door number 2.
After you.
I'll go and I'll knock on door number 2.
Okay. You do not hear an answer. And there, from what you can tell, no movement on the other side. But the door does appear to be locked.
I'll keep an eye out like the path and surrounding areas, just looking out for anybody who might be like watching the doors.
Okay, give me a perception check.
I'm bad at those. Flat 7.
Okay.
So good at looking at things.
Yeah, you look around. There's a lot of greenery around here as you've gone further into the island, and you're not like near the palm trees of the beach. There's a lot of just brush, and as you're kind of just scoping around, it's not a super populated area where you are. You see that the sailor gentleman from the other, door number 3, is just moseying down to the rest of the town, the rest of the village. You don't seem to spot anyone else.
I could try to pick the lock, or do you think we should ask our friend? And I'm going to indicate at the door number 3 man just moseying his way downtown.
I mean, I don't really think it's a good idea to tell people we're here.
I agree.
Guess we could pick the lock, and then if not, we just kick it down. Have a little. I have mending, so I can
attempt
fix
to pick
this.
a lock.
Okay, yeah, pick that lock.
And I've got a +5 on this shit. We're using a reroll on that. That is much better. 17 + 5 is 22.
With a 22, and Saskia keeping watch, no one really seeming to notice the drow picking a lock. You hear a solid click, and the door latch becomes loose to this wooden door.
I will gingerly open it while calling Hostius's name.
Okay.
Quietly, so as like only the person inside might hear.
With all the ginger included, you call Hostius' name, only for this small room to very, very imperceptibly echo it back to you. The room is dark. There is a light from a window at the far end, the opposite end of this building, that is streaming in slightly through a kitchenette, as it seems. The room is basically divided by a small bookshelf which extends from part of the wall which separates the kitchenette from the bed, which you see immediately as you look to your left, opening the door. The thing, however, that catches your eye, in addition to, besides all the furniture and the disarray of this place, as nearly all of the books have been pulled off the shelf and are still soaking in the blood of a large minotaur who has been butchered, is the best way, with the amount of cuts on his body. It is hard to determine any sort of facial features, as there is so much damage to his body. You can clearly make out a set of horns with sigils carved into them, bound by gold rings. And at first you're wondering where all the blood is, until, because it's there's not that much on the floor, as it seems, until you very quickly realize that it is all over the walls, scrawled in writing that says continuously over and over in various fonts, languages, and sizes, "The stars will fall."
So I'm gonna assume this is beyond gentle repose.
You know what? Let me look up gentle repose. We're learning stuff today, folks. Gentle repose. I don't think there's a lot of gentle stuff about this,
No,
but
I don't think doesn't do much.
hey, buddy. Hey, bud. Everything's gonna be okay. Touch corpse for the duration, protected from decay. This has been around for a couple of days. This has been around for a while.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You missed that decay train a little while ago. Yep, that left station last week. The smell is rough in here. I should note. And yeah, the flies immediately are kind of swarm around.
God damn it.
Let's cut back to our pursuers. So,
God damn it.
Perfect. Oh, that's so good. So your person that you were following has squeezed themselves through a hole in the wall of, you're not actually sure what the building is that you're next to, being in the alleyway here. You didn't hear any screams from the other side, so hopefully it wasn't a residence. But you're not exactly sure if you can get in there. You do note that the wood elf, quote unquote, did drop a few things as they squeezed their way through. But yes, you're not sure what's on the other side.
Well, I'll pick up what was dropped.
Okay.
And sort of run my talons down the wall, sort of in frustration, just scratching them because I'm mad that they got away like that.
So, among the belongings, you find a satchel and 2 standard daggers, and also the belt buckle, which popped off. That was one of the few things that wasn't flexible enough to go through this space, and just seems to be like a sailor's belt buckle more than anything else. Just, large brass, just couldn't fit through the space they were squeezing through. And the satchel does have papers in it.
I'd like to look through the papers, if I can. Sort of rifle, just quickly. I'm not really reading in depth, but I'm looking for keywords.
So it is pages ripped from a journal, that it seems, and you find the binding of the journal within the bag as well. As you're going through, you can see that it's written by a man named Dane, who you perhaps connect to being the wood elf. It's pretty standard stuff. It's you kind of pick up that Dane is a local, what's the word, private investigator, and you kind of get some stuff from some of his local jobs. You know, checked in on spouse, definitely cheating, underlined, investigation concluded, money got. You're getting, like, there's journal recordings in it as well. Had a couple of strange individuals ask for business. Money's money. Doesn't matter that they feel a little squirmy. Had weird dreams last night. Individuals really pushy about information. So far, nothing. They gave me this symbol, and he draws what you recognize to be the symbol of the Harbingers, but it's like if somebody tried to describe it. It's like a triskelion. There's 3 birds around it, but the birds look weird. They're all like perched. And he's like, still haven't seen hide or hair. Weird dreams continued. Starting to feel pain behind eyes, weird headache, writhing. It goes on and on to where the writing is getting more and more frantic and jolting about. And you start to see this drawing in the margins that's growing larger and larger. And you start to notice that it's not necessarily a drawing, it's a scroll that is spiraling from that corner. And you finally realize what it is on the second to last page, as it covers the entire page with "the stars will fall, the stars will fall," just spiraling outwards, almost like the spiral of a galaxy from the corner of this page. And the final page, in photo-like detail, are portraits of all of you.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that very much.
When you say all of us, like all 5 of us, or just the 3 of us? Okay.
They're all 5 of you, as if the portraits were made in the short time you were in the Copperhead.
Well, I'm showing that last page to my friends right here, Anubia and Croak.
Well, that's certainly disconcerting.
I think Croak is looking at this, the boards on the wall. Is it like all like boards going all the way up, or does it like terminate at a certain point? There's like maybe a window or something above them.
I think there's probably a window, decent way up. I think this is probably what you're next to is a warehouse. So they would have windows to like let a light in, which is maybe about 20 feet up. But yeah, it's like there was just a loose couple of boards that go about 6 feet up, then another set of boards, and then about 20 feet up, there's a whole row of windows to let some natural light in for anyone who might be storing things inside.
Okay. Since this thing was able to like fit through the boards, is there enough space for me to like kind of like get a handhold or a foothold and like maybe climb up to the window?
Yeah, go ahead and give me athletics or acrobatics.
Cool.
I feel like either would be legit for a Kenku such as yourself.
Croak, what are you doing?
That is a 16.
Solid. Yep. I think you'd be able to climb your way up.
And then looking into the window, am I able to see anything that's in there?
Croak, you look directly downwards where the split in the boards would be. Looking all around, you can see that there are a number of stacks of crates in here. What's in them, not exactly sure. There's no clear markings on any of them, but looking directly down in like the shadow where the light isn't necessarily streaming through at this point of the day, you would see what remains of your quarry, which is a loose set of skin and what clothing they were wearing, with nothing seemingly inside, almost like a suit.
Okay. Can I I'm going to does it look like this place has been like abandoned for a while?
No, it's probably in use because there are crates in here. I mean, it probably doesn't see like daily use, but it is a
Mhm.
storage area, so it's not necessarily abandoned. It's just not like there's not frequent use because the stuff is stored.
Okay. I'm gonna climb back down and like kind of point inside and like hop up and down.
You think we're safe to go in, just the three of us?
Croak is going to open his mouth and he's going to like imitate the laughing noise that the thing was making and like point in like into the building.
All right. Anubia, you in favor of going in and checking it out?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Are you all going around to like a main door, or are you all trying to go in through one of the windows?
Probably one of the windows, I think.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
me, yeah.
Fia can fly. Croak,
Uh-huh.
you already gave me a roll. Anubia, go ahead and give me athletics or acrobatics.
I can help Anubia up too. I mean, I can't like hold the.
Yeah,
I can't
with
pull-
advantage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm re-rolling that.
Not very strong, but I can. At
That's an
least grab
18.
the rope.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. You all are able to make it up there just fine, and would see exactly what I described to Croak. There is the skin suit and also clothing, the fabric clothing, including like the brown cloak that the wood elves seem to be wearing. But it is, yeah, it's the eyes are hollow. There's no blood inside. There's no viscera of any type. And again, the skin almost seems rubbery. I mean, it is skin. But again, the color is off, like it's been in use for a little while. And yes, you definitely find all of the crates as well, just all stacked up about 8 feet high, about 10 feet apart. There's like a path that goes down the middle, doors on either side, but the doors are closed, and there's no evidence of anything else. Just right off the bat, if you would like to do an investigation check towards anything, you could maybe determine.
Can I, instead of investigation, check around like the suit of skin that's been left behind and like look for
Yeah.
traces of something that may have left it behind and like move
Yes.
somewhere else?
That would be investigation or maybe survival. I could be pulled
I can
through
do
survival.
survival.
Yeah.
And I have advantage of that because of Hunter's Mark, because I had
Sure.
left it on it.
This is an abomination, but I will look around and see, just general looking around and seeing what if there's any like other symbols of the starfall, anything that I would recognize in that way.
Okay.
That is a
Yeah, perception
22
check.
survival.
Okay. Croak, as you go to like lift up the little skin suit, kind of move it around a little bit, it just flops, upsettingly. However, you probably more than I think anyone else looking at this notice that there are little marks in the ground, in the dirt of this, because it's not like a paved floor. You know, you have a dirt floor in this warehouse, and you see hundreds of these tiny little bore holes all around where the remains are. Like something, hundreds of small things all just crawled through down into the soil.
I think Crow's gonna do like that bird thing where he like kind of puts his head down and like tilts so that his eyes like facing towards them,
Mhm.
kind of like looking for worms.
Very much like, almost exactly like.
Yay. I rolled a 30 for my investigation check.
Via looking around, the crates seem to contain a variety of different things. There's smoke powder in here. There are dried fish. There are medical supplies. all pretty standard stuff that would be used in trade. There's some spice. There's some even some like barrels of like pickles and other pickled foods that can kind of sit around for a little while. Both of the doors on either side of this warehouse are locked from the outside. The windows on the other side do not seem opened, as the window that you came through was. There is no evidence of anyone else having been in here aside from, standard, this is where we're storing stuff.
I'm getting the impression that this is not like a hideout of sorts. This is just how whatever the fuck this thing is used to escape.
With a 30 whatever, you cornered this thing. It found a path that it could take and you could not, and it fled in the most direct way, not seeing any other form of escape being available to it.
Croak, what did you find?
He's going to, with his short blade, lift up the skin suit and like point out the little holes in the ground.
I like look as close as I can without getting too close to the skin suit. For all that, like, Fia has been around dead bodies often and is feral, there's something that is so off-putting about this thing in particular. Then she's like, no, I'm good. It's like, okay, I'm doing that thing. I'm like poking at it with like one of the little holes with one claw.
Actually, what's like the diameter of like the holes?
I mean, we're talking like a centimeter. Not very big at all.
Anubia, what do you make of this? Do you make anything? Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I think probably would. I think I'm trying to see if Anubia would have. Would I need to roll a history check or investigation check, Derek?
If you're trying to remember if you've seen anything like this, heard anything like this, it would be history with disadvantage. If you're looking for any other clues, we could say investigation.
Let's see. I will attempt a history with disadvantage. Say, take that chance. See what we got. Okay, so it's a second roll. That's a nat 1.
Okay. Yeah, Anubia is just like there's elevator music.
It's music just playing in her brain. Just like, yeah, no, I have no idea what this is.
No thoughts? Maybe we should bring this back and see if our fair doctor has anything to say about it. I don't think they're here anymore, or at least in this area.
Probably not. No, we're just gonna... I think it's a good idea, though. Let's see what Saskia can make of this. Is clearly we're not able to at the moment.
I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, Saskia, sure. I thought you were gonna bring it to Sawbones and be like, "Can you wear this? This is yours now."
I mean,
we got you new skin.
Maybe after.
Yeah, when we sail back, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
As a present.
Yeah.
Gentle repose will work on this, right?
Oh, you look almost normal. Okay. As you all have uncovered some rather unsettling evidence, some questionable clues, you go to collect this former dude former.
Yeah.
And the rest of you, having found a former Minotaur, that's where we're going to end for today.
Okay.
We can put these puzzle pieces together next week when you all can join us for the third episode of Harbingers, A Horizon's Call Adventure.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of my wonderful players for joining us. Special thank you also to Kayla for being our producer for this game. Thank you, Kayla. And a special thank you also to Michael for doing the character art that you can find on this display, also on all of our advertisements as well. Michael's a phenomenal artist. I will shout out his socials here shortly. Before all of that, thank you again to you in the audience for sticking around, for watching this, for donating to the wonderful foundation that we have chosen for this. Again, all of your donations are going directly to the Entertainment Community Fund and also impact this game. It's a twofer. The Entertainment Community Fund is a wonderful organization, supports people in the arts when they are kind of, when they need support. That's what these organizations are built for, and we here at Sword and Key really try to find organizations that rate well when it comes to charitable funds. I have never seen a fund rate as well as the Entertainment Community Fund. So your money is going to a good cause and it's going to the right place. I'm going to go around and have these lovely people say a little bit about themselves, where you can find more of them. I highly suggest you do. So let's start out with Abhishek.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange. I'm a voice actor who likes to talk about the nerdy side of things, especially the tokusatsu side of things. So if you're a big Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman fan, feel free to shout me, give me a shout, hit me up. I can discuss this all day long, trust me. You can find me over on the Bird side, Twitter at neon_Raiden. You can also find me on Blue Sky at the same handle, just with no underscore there. You can find me over on Instagram over at Abhishek Matange _VO. And last but not least, I hope you all appreciated the makeup. This took a lot of time to perfect, so yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm sorry, I had to respond to Mitch's snark in chat. Yes, we always appreciate the makeup. It looks fantastic, and Anubia is a phenomenal character, so she absolutely deserves it. Next up, Alex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I am not currently on social media, but once again, I had a great time playing with my fellow Harbies and appearing on Sword and Key.
Oh, I forgot. Hi, Harbies. It's incredible. Thank you, Alex. Thanks for making my brain stick on that. Next up, LD.
Hi everybody, I'm LD or Lady Dame. You can find me pretty much anywhere that's important at the Lady Dame. I'm on Twitch and Blue Sky and Card and all of that. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch, where right now mostly I'm on playing Dragon Age on Mondays for daytime Dragon Age, although that may change sometimes. Sometimes I like to tell stories and play visual novels and do things. I am also I am also one half of the Monster Crush podcast, which I get to co-host with Derek, which has been a delight. And speaking of theater and stuff like that, this next episode I'm very excited about, because I presented the monsters.
Sure did.
Quote, monsters. They're lovable. So yeah, that's what I've got. I think that's what I've got going on right now. Come hang out with me on Twitch as we play through some Dragon Age, and we talk about smutty things in theater, and we talk a lot about theater. And I do want to give a special shout out, and I want to thank everybody for raising money for the Entertainment Community Fund. As a theater person myself, it means this one directly affects myself and my community, and I know it was a fund that helped a lot of my coworkers and a lot of my peers during the pandemic, during the shutdowns. And so this one's near and dear and personal to my heart. So I really appreciate everybody helping to raise money for it. Yeah, I think that's all I've got going on. Also tune in next week. I know that there's stuff with the thing with, you're going to do channel stuff also, but hey, I'm co-hosting a Q&A next week, and you should all check that out, and also maybe submit questions. Although I have quite a lot of questions. Yeah, there's some really good ones. So I'm excited about that for next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, LD. Thank you for everything. Next up, Rack.
All right. Ladies, gents, viewers of all pronouns, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Rakolai, or Rakolai. No preference on how you pronounce it. Just glad you're here. You can find me right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rakolai. I mostly build model kits. Sometimes I play games, not so much these days. If you want to know when I go live, you can follow me. You can also see my announcements on my Twitter account. That is at Rakolai, Rako, capital IAI. Proper spelling is already taken. But I do have the proper spelling on my Blue Sky, so you can also find me there.
I'm glad you could get it at least there, Rack.
At least I have one thing.
I know you deserve to have the correct spelling. Trust me, I'm in that same boat. Yes, please petition for Rack to actually not have to use a lowercase l for his username. You can always type in at RAK. Typically brings him up. Let's see who. Gena. Gena's the last person, right? Birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, Gena. Where can we find more about this?
Yeah. I'm turning 30, so it's like a big thing. So
welcome. It's a good decade to live in.
If you want to be nice to me, donate to the Entertainment Community Fund. I'm a screenwriter, so it's also important to me.
Yeah. Heck yeah!
Yeah. So you can find me. Hi, I'm Gena. You can find me on Twitter. I am still there at _GenaThan, like Jonathan, but with Gena at the front. The underscore is important. I'm not really doing anything, but I am considering doing a project. We'll see. If you want to see if I do it, you gotta follow me over there. But yeah, other than that, I am on here for as long as this runs, which you should know. It's me.
And then some. I will happily have Gena back 1,000 times over. All these folks 1,000 times over. But yes, next session will be 3 of 6. So we will already be halfway through. Halfway there, living on a prayer. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Harbingers. Again, happy birthday to Gena. Special thank you to Kayla. You can find Kayla at KMCEA. And you can also find Kayla on Horizon's Call. Special thank you to Michael. You can find Michael, best place is probably Instagram, at MIKYLSANDVAL. Vol. Yes. Okay, did it right that time. Go and support his artwork, commission him if you have the funds for it. You can join our Discord as well. I'll tell you how to do that. And you can find his character reference stuff as well to get some artwork for yourself. He is phenomenal. We only want to encourage him more. And we would not have the very cool visuals that we do without the one and only Michael Sandoval. Again, I am Derek Sword. I have been your GM for this game. I have been your guiding compass. It says so on this bracelet that Kayla made me. And these gloves that Mara made me, and I'm just wearing things that my players just make. If you want to find more of me, that's fine. Social medias are dsword16. Most of the crap I do is for Sword and Key, so go and support Sword and Key and follow us on all of our socials. You can find everything that we have, including the Tiltifies for this campaign for the Entertainment Fund, the Tiltify that is going to be closing recently, or upcoming very soon, because since the campaign ended today, for Humblewood. That's for fauna and flora. And even the Tiltify, I'm sorry, not the Tiltify, the Pally link for Horizon's Call. You can find everything there, including all of our social media links and how to join our Discord at beacons.ai/sword and key, all one word. Most of Sword and Key's social media is sword_and_key. And a lot of our discount codes are that as well. You can find all our discount codes also on our beacons. That's a big place to look for them. So we are affiliates with Greenleaf Geek Dice. If you're looking for a new dice set and or TTRPG accessories, check out Greenleaf Geek and use code Sword and Key with the underscores for 10% off. You can also use our special code or a special link to go over to Eldritch Foundry if you were looking for a custom miniature. You can even get a subscription for unlimited miniature files if you have a 3D printer. It's a really cool tool for that if you just want to print out a whole bunch of minis for your party, for NPCs, for enemies, all that kind of stuff. But Eldritch Foundry has custom miniatures, and you can use code Sword and Key, all one word, for 10% off of your first order there. And we are hopefully going to be in affiliate with Friday Tea again, who has just opened their affiliateship. So also, if you're looking for affiliateships, that is something to check out as well. Looking towards the calendar of coming up stuff for Sword and Key. Let's see. Today, what's it? 14th. So we did have the finale of our Humblewood, the Unwelcome Winter game earlier. You can find all of that on our Twitch as well as our YouTube. Please go check it out. It was a phenomenal game with some really incredible folks, and I'm very proud of the story that we told on that one. The next thing we have coming up is going to be Saturday the 20th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That is a Q&A session of Horizon's Call, which is hosted by the lovely LD. You can still submit questions up to that point. Our link is posted on our socials, as well as our Discord. And much as like LD was saying, we have a lot of questions. There can always be more. If you have any burning questions that need to be quenched, ask them there so we can ask them on stream. Harbingers will be back for session 3, same time, same lovely place, 3 p.m. Pacific time, right here next week on the 21st, which will also be the release of the next Monster Crush episode, as LD was saying. Monster Crush is a podcast she and I do, where we talk about different cryptid creatures and miscellaneous monsters, and we give our pan-romantic, pansexual Pandora's box of love towards any horrors that we can find, and always try to find love in the scary. That will, again, release on the 21st, and it is, like LD said, about theater ghosts, which I'm very excited. It was a very cool episode. We have movie nights over the Sword and Key Discord that happen every other week. The next one coming up is on the 26th. It is the first of our Studio Ghibli marathon, so it's going to be My Neighbor Totoro. And again, you can join our Discord on our beacons. Horizon's Call will have its season 4 premiere on the 27th, 3 p.m. Pacific time, and then the 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific time before Harbingers, we have the premiere of the first in 4 of Deathmatch Island, a game that is being run by Anik. We'll have the very lovely Eva in it, and that will run for 4 weeks, whereupon Trophy Dark will take that slot as of the 25th of February, and that will run for 4 weeks as well. Might have some more Humblewood after that. We'll see. We're scheduling stuff now. We will have more applications out soon. You can always see those first on our Discord, and we post to our social media shortly after. So that's the place to hang out with cool folks. But we'd love to have you on. Please apply if you see the applications open, and you can join lovely folks such as these and roll some dice with us. So thank you all again for joining us. I don't believe I have anyone that we are rating right now, but in case we do, spread some positivity over there. Show some love. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. Be kind out there. If you have work off tomorrow, to have some self-care. But until next week, everybody, the Horizon's Call motto is fair winds and following seas. I think the Harbinger's motto is fair winds, following seas, weird birds. Take care of yourselves.